Here we're going to look at solving, and it looks like this is quadratic. Why do I want to say that to myself before I start? Well, if it's linear, I just try to get v by itself, but I see this squared means I'm probably going to have to factor. And if factoring doesn't work, there's always quadratic formula, but we're hoping factoring will work. So for factoring to work, I need it to be set equal to 0, because at the end I'm going to say, oh, I have two factors times each other equals 0. One of them has to be 0. Like if I multiply two numbers and the answer is 0, one of them is 0. Okay, I would say this probably isn't the greatest guess in check 1, because see how my front number is 4v squared, so not prime. So I don't know if it splits up the first term as 4v and v or 2v and 2v. And I don't like when there's more than one option. I don't want to start trying one and have to guess and check forever. So let's do AC method instead. So somewhere off on the side we'll write down AC is 24, right? 4 times 6. And we need some factors of 24 that add to b, which is 11, our middle term. So let me think of factors of 24. 6 and 4, that adds to 10, so that's close but not quite. How about 8 and 3? That one adds to 11. So that's the correct way to split up my middle term. And it doesn't matter on the order. And so now I can factor something out of these two and something out of these two. So 4v squared and 8v, I can factor out of 4v, and I'm left with v plus 2. And the next one I can factor out of 3, and I'm left with v plus 2. I feel good, like I've done it right, because I see that v plus 2 is a common factor, matches up. So I know one of my factors is v plus 2, and the other one is 4v plus 3. Alright, now that I have it factored, I'm almost to my answer, but what was the point of factoring? It's so then I can say that one of these two factors has to equal 0. So if I'm all the way down to two things multiplied to equal 0, I know that either this one needs to equal 0. So for v plus 2 to equal 0, v has to be negative 2. Or the other factor has to be 0. And for 4v plus 3 to equal 0, just subtract 3 from both sides. So 4v equals negative 3. And then divide both sides by 4. Especially in these two-step kind of ones, I would always write that out. Don't try to eyeball it like you can with the negative 2. There's too many sign errors, or what goes on top, what goes on bottom. So we have two possible answers that solves this quadratic. Two roots, or two things that we plug in to make the whole thing 0. Negative 2 and negative 3/4.